Welcome to Basscast Radio, bringing you the best in local and national news in bass fishing, as well as interviews with some of the best anglers from all over the U.S. With your host, Brian Carter and Hank the Bass Geek. Sponsored by Wild Wear America, Z-Bait Company, Missile Baits, Battleborn Batteries, Conrad Brothers Marine, Taylor Man's Custom Lures, Vertical Lures, and Lynchburg Arms and Indoor Shooting Range.
Guys, we are back with another great episode of Basscast Radio. Hope you guys are all doing well tonight. Tonight, guys, we have who is already tuned in right here. Looking all good. Major League Fishing Pro. You guys all know Mr. Grae Buck. What's up, brother?
Hey, how you guys doing?
Man, we are doing great. You?
Oh, I'm good. Just out in the garage, getting some tackle ready, and almost time to go down the Eufaula.
Yes, we have that. Yes. So tonight we want to recap of Lake Murray, brother. 46th place, you took home $10,000. We can talk about day one. You had 12:05 on day one. Day two finished at 17:11, and day three 5:15. What was it? An interesting tournament or what, man?
Yeah, those fish made me work for every single one of them.
Wow.
There was nothing easy about it. Some of those tournaments you gotta go down to, and you catch them and throughout the day. And this one was not like that. The first day, I had a long day. I was like one of the last boats to go out. So I fished from, I think it was 6:30 until 5 that day.
Right.
I had a 12-hour day. And I was doing a lot of sight fishing. I had found a bunch on beds. I was skipping a wacky rig with that Z-Man Zinker.
Yep.
I don't know if you see this here, but
there you
just
go.
a soft wacky rig in it. I'd throw a little nail weight in the end of it just so it would sink a little bit faster, but you could throw it right on those beds. And they weren't easy to catch, but you could get them. And I picked off all the ones I had. One took me about an hour to catch.
Right.
It was frustrating. He would come up on it, grab it, not get hooked. I just kept messing with it. I finally came back, stayed way back, and threw up there with a drop shot with a little fluke on there, that Z-Man Streaks, and just kind of jiggled it there, and he came over and just ate it. It was pretty cool. It wasn't a giant one. It was like 2.5, but
yeah,
it was a personal battle I had going on with him, so it felt like I won at least. So that's part of it. But yeah, that first day, it was a lot of work to catch the ones I did. I never really got on that herring bite great.
Okay.
Practice, I had found them up shallow on the riprap where the herring were then. But the night before the tournament, or the morning of the tournament, the water, our air dropped to 36, I think it was that morning.
Yeah, it got cold. I mean, it got cool here. I mean, going from like an 80 degree, like 70 to 80 degree swing to like, I was like, all right, I looked that morning, I was like, the last 2 mornings have been 64 degrees at 4:30. That morning was like 39 or something. It's like, what the heck?
Yeah, so it backed those herring off a little bit. So I didn't have those real shallow ones I was catching on top water throughout the day. And I kept trying to make it work, but they just weren't quite there. And I never got in that 4 to 6 foot range that first day because I was struggling. I thought if I could catch 12 to 13 pounds, I thought I'd be doing all right. The guys caught them way better than I ever anticipated. I think I had 12.5, and I believe 100th place or something like that. Like, they blasted them. I think 14 and a half, something like that, was in 50th. So I knew I had a cut out for me day two. And I kind of went and did the same sort of thing. I I was fishing that riprap up shallow because it had warmed up overnight. I was taking that Z-Man, that Streaks, and twitching it right along the edge there. And I was fortunate in the morning. I caught probably 1/4 in the first probably hour and a half of the morning.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of settled me down a little bit. Then I took my wacky rig with that zinker, started throwing that under docks. I threw it up under the steps of this one dock that came out there. And I don't know if she was on a bed or if she was post spawner or what, but it was a big one. It was 5 pounds all day. If you guys check out my YouTube video of it, day 2's up now. I fought I bet it was 2 minutes. I had them spin around. These Lake Murray bass, I've never caught bass that fight, a largemouth that fight as hard as these suckers do. And I don't know if that's a blueback deal because they're used to chasing those herring around. Yeah. But it was just a pure muscle. And even the 2-pounders were working you over.
Wow.
So, no, it was definitely interesting. After that, what did I do after that? I went and started fishing I had 2 areas where there's a bunch of bluebacks that were out off the bank there that I had found. I started throwing that Streaks out over there. They started blowing up. I caught 2 14-inchers out of that one, which is the size limit for them down there. So I had 4, and then I skipped that wacky rig under another dock and when the sun got way up, and I lost a giant. I hooked it, came right out from under the dock, like very uneventful. It couldn't have asked for it to go better. I fought it, got it out in the deep water. Yeah. Just got the peel drag off, and all of a sudden it came up and it walked across the surface. Like it didn't even jump. It just walked across it and it threw it. And I felt sick. Like it was well over 6. It might have been a 7-pounder. And at that point, I knew it hurt. It hurt bad.
All right, before we get too far, man, we got to thank our sponsor. You guys know Angler Tungsten is sponsoring me and Gray, and I want to thank them for sponsoring us in 2021. Check out one of the hottest tungsten companies in the business right now, Angler Tungsten. All their weights feature their patent-pending Oxy Armor coating that will never chip and has their Angler ID size stamped on every weight, from the ultra-sensitive tungsten to the premier quality apparel and the best customer service in the business. Angler Tungsten has you covered. Use the code BUCK10 and save 10% off your first purchase from Angler Tungsten. Check them out at anglertungstenco.com. Holy cow, that's a whole lot. It's an awesome company though. They're great. I cannot wait. If you guys if you guys have not heard, my co-host lives like 5 minutes away from the owner. So they've been out fishing a couple times this year. Bass Geek has been out with our boy, so they haven't caught much, but they've been hanging out.
Very cool. I'm sure they'll get on them here sooner or later.
Yeah, no joke. That would be nice. All right, so day 2, 17-11, brother. What happened on day 2, man? What made the change?
It was a lot of the same stuff as I was doing. I was running new water was the biggest thing. Okay. I moved down another creek, and it just had better quality fish in there is the biggest part of it. So it kind of how it went. And then at the end of the day, I made a big hole. I was fishing some shallow riprap, and all of a sudden they started blowing up behind me on the end of the point. Mm-hmm. I made a long over there with that Streaks, and I caught another one that was pushing 4 pounds. I got rid of a 14-incher. So,
oh wow,
just made a big end of the day upgrade.
Now, were you running new water on day 2, or were you sticking around what you had found during practice?
No, it was all new water. I actually slid down one more creek from then when I fished day 1.
Okay.
It was some stuff I found in practice that I thought had some potential. It was also a lot better than I realized. Wish I would have been in there in day 1, but yeah, it goes that way sometimes.
I really don't want to talk about day 3, but you did make it to day 3 with 5:15 on day 3. What changed? That's like what totally changed the opposite direction, but.
Yeah. So what happened that day was that I needed the sun to push them up under the docks where I was skipping that wacky rig a lot of times, those big ones. And without that sun, they didn't go under there. They were kind of roaming around more. I really never came across them and connected with them. And I didn't have that great herring bite. Like I fished a couple of those areas. I caught them the day before where I happened to catch a couple decent ones.
Right.
But there were stripers on them that cloudy day. I don't know enough about the bluebacks, how they move around with this, the overcast days. I know the guy's still calling it. So apparently I should have stuck it out. For some reason, I didn't think that was going to happen. So I kind of went and scrapped it. I started throwing a buzzbait up shallow, trying to find some fish that were either on beds or fry garden, just picking somebody off, and never happened, but it was fun. Made my, got my check out of there, got some solid points, moved up. I think I'm in 73rd now for the.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
So working our way out of that Okeechobee hole. We're getting closer to the 50, which I need to be in to make the title championship, which that's my ultimate goal. If I can make that, I'm going to be a happy guy.
There you go. So you were talking about, chasing the blueback heron, that was your main. Was there anything else that you might have had in the, looking back at it now, was there something you think you could have done different?
No, I should have chased those bluebacks more is what I probably should have done. I was kind of split between that and fishing for the ones either spawning or post spawn on the docks. And I think if I could have had more blueback spots that I found in practice that had the bait on it that would push the fish up, I could have had a better milk run, because it was just a timing deal. You pull up on one, they wouldn't be. You could, on my active target from the Lowrance, like you could scan around, you'd see the bass sitting out in 10 foot of water. You couldn't catch them on anything, but as soon as they would push up into that 4 to 6 foot and start chasing those bluebacks, they would just start chewing. And if you had enough of them, you could run around and like kind of milk run it. Right. You would have been day one. I kind of left out that I didn't catch a limit until like 2 o'clock.
Holy cow, dude.
Forever. But that was my plan, is I knew those bluebacks got up more in the afternoon with the sun.
Right. With the sun.
But I didn't have a decent enough limit to feel like I could go out and do that. So I would just kept fishing the docks, hoping I was going to come across a couple more decent ones to upgrade and have me in a decent position. But just somehow it plays out that way. I had to keep working for my fish, and it took all day, both of the days.
All right. What made you think the docks would produce?
Just because I could see some on there spawning. You had pre-spawners setting up on the points, like going back into the pockets. You had post-spawners setting up on them. It was a good staging area.
Okay. All right. We mentioned earlier, Lake Eufaula is coming up next. What's Brandon thinking about that one?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I was down there once. Where was I? Between Smith Lake and that Bass Pro Tour event on Rayburn. Yeah. I went for 3 days. I had like 4 days to kill. So I went down there. I idled and marked every brush pile on that place with my Lowrance. So hopefully they're in brush piles, and hopefully I can catch them out of them, because I've never really fished a brush pile tournament. But I fished rock up on whatever, Champlain and Oneida and all that. Imagine that. If I can line up on the rock, I might as well be able to line up on those brush piles, and hopefully we can catch them out of that. It should be a fun tournament. That place has got giants in it. That's for sure.
Yes. Yes. We've seen lots of results from that place. What type of, you went to practice, like you said, you went down there, did a little scanning around. Have you done any pre-homework at the house or anything like that? Like you said, done a little YouTube searching and.
Yeah, I watched a bunch of the tournaments they had back in the, it was probably 5-10 years ago now on Eufaula, just old tournaments. So you got a general idea. It seems like at the end of May, you're going to either be able to fish up shallow or fish offshore in those brush piles. And I'm going to try to get that going in practice. If it doesn't work, I know how to throw a chatterbait up shallow, so I can go do that in the tournament if it comes down to that.
Z-Man chatterbait, everybody. The famous Z-Man chatterbait.
Yeah, that doesn't scare me to do this. Go throw that thing around.
I know it doesn't. No. It's like, here you go. Go over it one more time. The baits that you used for this event, man. What was your techniques that you used?
So the Z-Man Streaks, it's called. It's just soft plastic jerkbait style. I don't have the hook here, but I would rig it with it was actually a flipping hook. I'd bring it out the top so it was exposed. No, it had a treble to it, just both Hayabusas. And I liked having that treble on the back there because it made the ones that slashed at it, you'd actually hook them up a little bit better on that. And I caught a lot of fish that were on just that treble that weren't completely eating it. Yeah. So it made a big difference. And you just work that thing pretty quick, just kept jerking it like steady motion. Every once in a while, you put a slight pause there, or a couple quick ones, and they would eat it. This one is called the Deal. It's got, you can see like that pearly color on the bottom, a little darker on the top. So through Smoky Shad was the other one, which is a clearer one. That was when I was chasing the bluebacks. And then when I was fishing the docks, I was throwing the Z-Man Zinker Z. It's awesome. What I really like about this is being the Elastec, you can hook it right in the middle of there. You don't need an O-ring or anything like that to keep your bait from falling off. And you can skip it way under the docks. I would also sometimes, depending on if they're deeper ones, I would sometimes have a nail weight. I actually had 2 of these rigged up. I'd had one with weightless and one with a nail in it, so I could drop it down a little bit quicker.
All right, there you guys go. All right, brother, man, thanks for coming on tonight, talking with us, and really appreciate you being a part of our first ever Zoom.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking forward to doing the next one. It's fun when people actually get to see the baits we're using.
That is very true. That is very true. So we're going to upload this to our YouTube channel, guys. I haven't made a YouTube channel yet for Basscast Radio, but we're going to upload it to our YouTube channel. I think I do. I just don't remember the password. It's been like forever since I logged in. But yeah, we're going to upload this, and we're going to also upload it to our Spreaker network as well. So for you guys who don't want to watch on YouTube, you can don't want to watch me on YouTube, you can listen. So either way, you'll be able to hear it right here. Great, man. Thank you for coming on, talking to us, and good luck on Lake Eufaula. I don't think I even say that right. How you say it? Eufaula?
I think that's what I said. I couldn't spell it, but I could say it.
All right, guys. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we'll be right back. Man, we appreciate Grae coming on, talking with us tonight. Thank him for everything. Man, we really appreciate it. We've done this for like the last 2 years, guys. We have done a series with Mr. Grae Buck and talked about the event, whether he was good or bad or won, it doesn't matter. Just hopefully giving you guys some tips that you can use out on the water the next time. And here's a tip right here, guys. Don't forget Anglers Tungsten. Check out one of the hottest tungsten companies in the business right now, Angler Tungsten. All their weights feature the patent-pending Oxy Armor coating that will never chip and has their Angler ID size stamped on every weight. From ultra-sensitive tungsten to premium quality apparel, guys. And the best customer service in the business, Angler Tungsten has you covered. Use the code BUCK10 and save 10% off your first purchase from Angler Tungsten. Check them out at anglertungstenco.com. All right, guys, I'm gonna let you guys know right now, we got 2 local anglers. Bam, 2 local anglers coming up in the next episode of Basscast Radio. We just did a Monday night episode because we hadn't had a chance to catch up with Mr. Grae Buck, but Wednesday we're going to be recording with 2 Central Virginia anglers, Mr. Bryant Copley and Mr. Jack Dice. So make sure you stay tuned. We don't know if we're going to go live, do that one on Zoom or not, but we might try it out again. So I hope you guys all have a great night, everyone. Thank you for watching Bass Quest. Conrad Brothers Marine sponsoring the basscast.com. Please make sure you guys go check them out. We're going to hit the intro and the outro, and we hope you have a great night. Bye, everybody.
You've been listening to Basscast Radio, the best in local and national bass fishing news. To listen to more episodes, check us out on all the podcasting networks. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, thebasscast.com, and Basscast News.